In today's tutorial, we're using ChatGPT and new chat AI robot to do automated Selenium WebDriver testing. We're going to do some functional end-to-end testing of saucedemo.com. We're going to be able to log in, and at the end, we're even going to do a checkout flow. Throughout the tutorial, I tried a number of things, adding in JUnit, adding in WebDriver Manager, cleaning up the test code, adding in PageObjects, and a lot of it worked. Ultimately, my mind was blown by ChatGPT capability to do automated software testing, and also a little bit scared because now who's going to be doing my job? So let's go and see how ChatGPT is going to take all of our jobs. So let's go ahead and see if ChatGPT can do some automated Selenium tests. If you're unfamiliar with ChatGPT, I think the best way for you to understand what it can do is to just see it in action. So let's go ahead and give this a try. So here it is, coding a Selenium Java test. Check out how awesome that is. So it would definitely work at even using the property path, using Chrome driver to open example.com. And then it's printing and then quitting. So this is fantastic. We can obviously see that they put it into a main method. Let's fix that and say, and to use JUnit instead. Check it out. So it already, we know it's going to do the right thing. It's picking up JUnit Jupyter, which is JUnit 5. So there's the setup using set property. And then there is our test. We're going to test the capabilities a little bit more here. And here's the description of exactly what's going on in the test. So everything is correct here. It wrote really good code. How impressive is that? Let's continue to take this to the next level and explore what it can really do. So I have a few quarrels here. First, I want to use, we could change it to JUnit 4, but that's fine. We'll leave it in JUnit 5. The other thing that I want to do, I don't want to use this property path, so we can do WebDriver Manager instead. And then let's test on an application that I actually know. So I could already see it's going to use WebDriver Manager because it pulled in the correct import. Beautiful, check it out. So using its WebDriver Manager, it even passed in Chrome options. Okay, fine, it added headless, no big deal. It even has a WebDriver wait. And then it's testing against saucedemo.com. Setting username, it even picked up the correct username and password. Okay, this is the right username and password to use for this. These are the right locators. We can, if you wanted to go and look at them. And then it even does an after all hook, which will do a driver.quit, which is perfect. This thing is so good. Should we be worried about our jobs? All right, next thing I want to try is to do an accessibility test. If I could spell. Let's see if it can do this part. I actually tried some of this before with Selenium related stuff, but there are certain things that I'm just randomly throwing in here just because I'm thinking about it and I'm curious if it'll be able to do those actions or those methods or whatever I wanted to create. Wow, check it out. Created a totally separate test method called test accessibility. And then it didn't add anything. Okay. We're going to do another next level. So first I want the code to be able to do accessibility, but also I wanted to try and use PageObjects. So here is that output. Let's see what it did. So it did a really, really good job. Testing the login. One interesting thing is that it did the get, didn't put that in the page objects, but it did create a login page. And then with the login page, it is interacting with our username, password, and clicking the login. We do need to add assertions. So let's make sure we tell it to add assertions to the tests. But then it still didn't do accessibility testing. And then an amazing thing is it even showed the actual page object, which is a fantastic page object. It's exactly how I would code something like this if I'm following the same exact exercise. So I think we pushed the system to the limit. You can see how it kind of froze here. But if we look at our automated tests, it did an amazing job here. Check out its assertions. Great assertions. Probably would have been better if it used page objects to do the assertions, but really good nonetheless. And then the accessibility part, it's still not getting well. Of course, I can tell it to use like Axe, but I wanted to see if it can figure it out, whether to use Axe to do automated testing, which it didn't, but it's close enough and giving even examples of what it can do, and then still after hook. So fantastic. We can see it's not able to print out the login page, but I want to take this to the next level, and now let's do this. So now we're going to run this code in Sauce Labs. Yeah, which makes sense in terms of what it's printing out now. I said, let's run it in. Okay, cool. There it is. It's also updating the test. Oh, what amazing. It's even using sauce bindings automatically, which is the preferred way to use Sauce Labs. You'll see how easy it is using environment variables, and then it got stuck. So how about this? Wow, sensational job over here. So let's see what it did. So it's used sauce bindings automatically. You can do without sauce bindings, but sauce bindings makes it much easier. And then you can see this is using sauce bindings right here, creating the sauce options. They even set a name, browser name, platform name. I don't know why they said Sauce Connect Tunnel. No problem. We can obviously easily remove that by telling it to remove that. And then it's starting a sauce session. Funny how it did a session.authenticate. Oh, okay. Yeah, that part is unnecessary. And then it did the login test. So really, really great overall. Not perfect, but really good. It's so funny. In my other trials of it, I think I had better results than I currently got now. It did a better job of at least automating the test cases. So it obviously depends how you start on your test, how you interact with it, and then how you progress from there. But overall, really solid code that is clean, able to transition into page objects, able to transition to Sauce Labs and run in Sauce Labs. Yeah, it authenticates and then starts a driver. Yeah, I see a few missing pieces here. It's missing starting the actual test. So let's try this. Yeah, that didn't change much. It's still pretty much the same. I was wondering if using JUnit 4 would make it smarter, because I know there are probably more JUnit 4 examples on the web that it can pull from to create this test, but I guess it didn't. And then I have one final challenge that I just thought of that I'm super curious whether it can automate or not. So let's see if it can automate an entire scenario. Oh, and it's going to do it using page object model. Let's see. Wow. Mind blown. It didn't fully finish the task. You can see it got hung up here on the checkout page. However, I mean, it got through the login using page objects. It got through adding a product to a cart and then clicking the checkout button, and then it just didn't finish the checkout flow. And I wonder if I had it automate a test without page objects, whether it'd be capable of doing it. Let's try that. I'm going to try something different here. I'm going to start with a large complex task, and then of course we can make tweaks to it as necessary. Let's give it a try. Wow, y'all. It's going to do it. It's doing it. It's filling out the checkout form, and it's validating that the checkout was successful. Wow, that is sensational. Mind blown. All right, so all of those AI tools that claim they do automated AI testing, this right here, this is the real thing. So overall, I am extremely impressed with ChatGPT. Out of all the automated AI solutions out there, especially for automated testing, this is by far the closest to real AI that can do automated software testing. What did you think about the tutorial in ChatGPT? Do you fear that our jobs as automation engineers are going to become more scarce? What about the jobs of all developers? If this can write code this well, what are we going to do? Just be instructing a robot to be writing code for us? Anyways, a lot of very interesting questions. If you enjoyed the content, as always, please like and subscribe. And it's been my pleasure. Have a wonderful day. Take care.